We are playing catch up from the weekend, and this reading is from Sunday, day 11, Job 29 through 31. So in Job 29, Job is basically reminiscing on the days of prosperity before his suffering started. He mentions how he was honored in the community and how secure he felt in believing he would live a long, prosperous, peaceful life with God's blessings. And this chapter also showed us not only how kind or how prestigious Job was in his community, it showed us that he kind of lost more than his kids, more than his worldly possessions, even more than his health. He lost his dignity, his purpose, his influence. He lost a lot. And I think this chapter brought that into perspective for me, because originally I didn't think about how the community views him or how he was viewed before everything happened, like the impact that this has on how he's looked at in the community. I mean, we do see his friends and their perspectives, but I just never thought about the people who are on the street, whatever. He mentioned, how he used to go to the town center and people would, love to hear him speak. In fact, they will be silent so they can hear him, so that his kind words can fall gracefully on their ears and things of that nature. And it's just like he doesn't even have that anymore. So I think it kind of highlights also his loneliness, because from what I'm reading, it doesn't seem like they left wherever they are. Like, I think they might be in Job's home, because it says that the three friends came to visit him. And it doesn't say that at any point they left that where they are. So it has to be pretty lonely, especially coming from a person who used to go out into the street and be regarded in such a high manner. So then we move into Job 30. And in Job 30, Job again is speaking. So now we're in like 4 chapters of just Job speaking. Job speaks about how people disrespect him now, how they spit at him, they don't listen to anything he has to say. Basically, he went from being regarded in such a highlight to being disregarded forever, like a very low person. And he's, points out that even though he has helped countless amounts of people, nobody is coming to help him except for those 3 friends, I think, that came to visit him, the 3 friends that are there. He doesn't mention anybody else. And again, I presume and assume that his wife is there too. And I think that stings a little bit for him to not have anybody come check in on him. So like the loneliness seems to compound all of his suffering, and it seems to make it worse for him, especially if he's somebody who is used to being around and surrounded by a lot of people, to just go to being surrounded by 3 friends and your wife. That has to hurt. In Job 31, Job is still proclaiming his innocence. He's basically saying that if he had sinned or if he was wicked, then he could understand this treatment from God, this isolation from God, not being able to feel close to God. If he was wicked, he could understand it, but he's not. So he is basically confused. And in that confusion, he's like, listen, I'm just ready to face judgment day. That way he can let me know what's going on. Also, I wanted to point out in Job 31, his wife is brought up again, because he mentioned something to the effect of if he had, looked at somebody else's wife or did something, then his wife can grain another man's grain or something like that, can grind another man's grain. Something to that effect of if he's guilty, then his wife can go to somebody else, do something else for somebody else. It was confusing. I don't really know what he brought his wife up there for. And I also was confused because when I Googled it, Google only said that his wife was mentioned 2 times. However, from reading it for myself, I see that the wife is brought into it again. So this is why it's good to read the Bible for yourself, because sometimes even AI can leave things out. But the scripture that I thought stood out is the words of Job are ended. So I was like, wait a minute, Job died? Because I always thought he had got restored. Like, the story of Job was, I thought it was, he goes through all this suffering and then he gets it all back. I don't know how, I don't know why, because again, I've never read this Bible for myself, so I don't know, how we go from suffering to back to prosperity, especially since I'm reading it for myself and it says Job's words are ended. Like, does this mean he just finna shut up? Like, what? I was so confused, and I don't know how it's going to progress. But it's always, this Bible is good to me, because what you mean Job's words are ended? Like, did God seal his lips shut too? Like, oh my God, like, what's going on? But see you guys next time.